What's up, y'all? I'm Chris Hayes, and this is On the Spot, a new interview series where we talk to artists, producers, and influencers from the New England area. We find out what they got going on and a little bit more about them. And today, I'm telling you, we have like a very, very special guest. He started one of the biggest hip-hop websites in the world. I don't know if I would be here without the website that this guy created, so I felt like it was only right for me to interview him. And we're not going to talk about what he has been doing. He also has an incredible YouTube channel right now. He plays 90s classics, 2000s classics, vinyls. You see him behind the turntables. So without any further ado, please introduce yourself. Tell us your name, where you're from, and what you got going on.
What's up, everybody? My name is Adam Quest Walder. I go under HipHopHistoryGuy now on YouTube and Instagram, on Reddit and Twitter, so you can look me up there. I am, as Chris mentioned, the former CEO and the founder of UndergroundHipHop.com, which I founded in 1997. Some of y'all know it as UGHH.com or UGH. I sold it in 2017. Been out of the game for a couple of years, just taking a break after 20 years of being in the hip-hop industry. And I'm back now full-fledged doing a daily broadcast on Reddit, which I also post on that YouTube channel. About a 45-minute to 60-minute mix of all classic hip-hop. Vinyl, only strictly on vinyl, no digital, no Serato. So if you're into classic hip hop, I definitely think you will enjoy what I've been doing.
Thank you for everything you've done, man. I appreciate you coming through to the show today. We're going to talk about some things. We're going to find out what you got going on.
Sure. Love to talk to you.
All right, cool. So you mentioned you started in 1997. That's a whole, I mean, a lot of people watching this were not even alive at that point. I mean, there was
that's a scary thought, isn't it?
But you have so much experience, you have so much to share with the people, and that's why I definitely check out this guy's Reddit, YouTube, follow him on Instagram. You have a lot to share with the people, and that you have seasons. You have seasons, and that's what this is all about. And that's why I want to go back to 1997. Quest, you started this website, right? Who is Quest, though? I know I understand you started this website, but someone has to create it. You know, it's not about the creation as much as the creator. That's what I'm interested in. So where did you get the name Quest from? How did you even get to that point in 1997 that you wanted to do this?
Sure. It's normally a 2-hour story, so I'll try to break it down as quick as possible without missing too many bullet points. I was given the alias Quest in 7th grade. I don't know if it had anything to do with a Tribe Called Quest, but my friend who was really into hip-hop called me Quest, and it just stuck. When I was in 11th grade, I started interning at Rutgers University in New Jersey for a hip-hop show that ran from 10 to midnight. And so I got some radio experience there. And then I graduated high school in 1995 and came to Northeastern University here in Boston, where I've been since 1995. And I did the radio show, and because I was a freshman, they gave me a terrible time slot of 3 to 6 a.m. And I could only do that for so many weeks without it just taking a physical and mental toll on me. So right around that time, I started creating a web page just to promote myself as a DJ. Think of like a MySpace page or even an Instagram, just promoting myself and the hip hop that I love. But it then kind of grew into me putting new hip hop singles on. And I was one of the first websites, period, to put audio on a website. This was before MP3 was even a format. Show you how dated that is. I used to put real audio samples and full-length songs, actually, of all the vinyl records I was still getting delivered as promotional records because I was doing radio at one point. And I got a lot of good feedback from people all over the world who were messaging me and saying, I'm in Germany, I'm in Jamaica, I'm in South Africa, I'm in Ethiopia, wherever, saying that they loved what I was doing. And that really just got me really hungry because unlike radio, where you have a designated time slot and you only have a certain audience, the internet presented a way for me to get this hip hop out to the world. And it was very new at the time. So because it was so new and people couldn't really get music, there were no music services. I think MP3.com started coming out, or eMusic was kind of at that time like a streaming service, but there really was nothing like it. So we started getting a lot of people, particularly people with high bandwidth, which is colleges and college students, who really loved the hip hop that I was putting on the website. So it went from being new hip hop. Then I started putting up old school. I started putting up instrumentals for people to download and freestyle over. Then I started doing interviews, video interviews. And again, this is very early on. Video on the web was not really heard of at that time. And I figured out, how to do it. It was low quality. But I interviewed some really key artists. For example, I'm the first person to ever interview Eminem. That was the big one.
Wow.
Interviewed Dilated Peoples back in when the platform just dropped. And you name an artist, I probably interviewed them or was somehow affiliated with interviewing them through my company.
Wow, that is an incredible story, man. It's amazing that you're still here. I was so happy to see you with this Reddit and this YouTube channel. I wanted to invite you on here. So thanks again for coming through. Now, after you started the website, I guess you started bringing artists into town. You brought Eminem and a lot of artists. You want to tell us what was happening in Boston? I mean, just what was going on?
Well, the one part I forgot to point out in the story was with all the audio, we started getting a pretty large audience, as well as we added message boards and a chat feature. And a lot of people kept saying, well, I want to buy this music you're streaming, but there's no place to buy these records near me. I'm in Japan and they don't have Mr. Lif, or I'm in Texas, and there is no Acrobatic here, or Edon, or Porn Theater Ushers, or 7-0 and Esoteric, or Virtuoso, or Sage Francis, or name a New England artist, right? And these are all the artists I was putting on the site. So that kind of gave me the idea to start an online store. And so that's what I coded that. And on August 1st, 1999, we went live. And within 6 months, we did $40,000 in revenue out of my college dorm room, which was quite a bit of money. And figured if it worked, I would have a job after college. And if it didn't, it was I only invested $1,500 that I had saved from a co-op job at Northeastern. So luckily for me, it worked out pretty well. And we were able to continue growing. As far as the Boston scene, I think the site did really well for a variety of reasons, but one of them was that the Boston hip hop scene was really exploding at that point. Brick Records had just started about 2 years prior with the Rebel Alliance EP, which is very popular, which was Esoteric, I believe, debuted on that. Mr. Lif debuted. Malvo Rocca, Porn Theater Ushers was on that. I believe Virtuoso. And Brick was really pushing hip hop. And right around that time, we also had Detonator Records, which is Acrobatic's label. They also put out a couple of records for Breeze Have a Flow and Chan. And then Biscuit Head Records put out Porn Theater Ushers and Edon's record. So there was a lot of hip hop going on at the time. And it was just this big movement. And everyone was supportive of each other, but also competitive. The concerts were always sold out. I mean, Mr. Lif or Ack would perform and the Middle East would be packed with 600 people going wild. And I've seen those guys perform 50 times, and all 50 times the place would be wilding out. So, with that, we were able to do some concerts. I wasn't actually into the concert promotion scene. We did a few shows, but that was more actually Pete from Detonator Records was doing a lot of the shows. And he's the one who brought Eminem for the Slim Shady EP tour. And he brought just a ton of artists, Black Moon consistently, Jerry the Damager, he brought it, and so forth. And then, eventually Leeds, who used to intern for me, actually, What Up Ned, a.k.a. Leeds Edutainment, really took over and has been consistently bringing people into Boston to perform.
That's dope. And, I was one of the people who was buying stuff off your website at the time. And that's how I found out about Acrobatic, was on a cassette sampler or something like that y'all put in envelopes. So
yeah. I think those CD samplers did really well. We used to, with every month, put out a sampler. It was really a mixtape of all the newest hip hop or best ofs. And we would throw them in free with every single order. And then we kind of were losing too much money. So we made it where it had to be like over $50 purchase. But, literally tens of thousands of CDs went out to people to discover a bunch of new hip hop. And of course, we always tried to push that Boston hip hop a little strong. And it really helped the careers of a lot of Boston hip hop artists. I think, Boston was kind of known for Edo G and the Bulldogs, the Almighty RSO. Gangstar wasn't even really thought of as Boston, even though now we kind of recognize it. But, that was really it. And then, come 1997 or so, right around when UGG was blowing up, the Boston scene really grew. And, and the rest is history. Just so many of these guys got careers off of the energy that was going through the city at that time.
Absolutely, and I think you were a major part of that. The energy that put out, your love for hip hop, your dedication, and you're still here. And that's why right now I want to talk about what you got going on right now, because you have a whole new journey you're on. You have a whole new situation. Tell us what you got going on right now.
So I'll be honest with you. So right before quarantine, I've been sitting on thousands of records. They've been sitting on my shelves collecting dust. I bought a drum kit to kind of get back into music and learn something new. And so I was kind of jamming on my drums for a while, and my records have just been sitting, and my turntables here were put away in cases. And I told my wife, I'm like, I think I'm going to just sell everything. And I have quite a collection. You could imagine I've been buying and getting records promotionally since the early 90s. So my collection is pretty envious for even me. I love my collection, and many other people do too. But they were just sitting. So I was like, I'm going to just sell them all. And then COVID happened. And believe it or not, for me, COVID's been a blessing in disguise, because I was like, you know what? Let me bust out these turntables and try to stream. I've always wanted to do a stream kind of like we're doing now. But I never really sat down to do it. It's just one of those things like, yeah, I should do it, but whatever, maybe tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I have no excuse. There's a lot of free time. So I started broadcasting on Reddit. I don't know why I chose Reddit. I kind of liked the vibe of the Reddit community. I had been part of Reddit's message boards. If you're not familiar, Reddit's like a massive forum for anything you could think of. But they also do live streams. And so I did a live stream, and my first stream had 75,000 people. Coincidentally, I have not had that much since. I don't know if they just new stream and they're just like, hey, let's just give this guy a bunch of people. But I had 75,000 people. And that was life-changing for me. There's one thing DJing in front of 10 people online. There's another thing when you have thousands. And when I was done I did a 3-hour set. And when I was done, my heart was pounding with excitement. I mean, I hadn't felt that energy from hip hop since the late 90s. I mean, I just felt invigorated. And I was so excited that there's an audience, first of all, that loved it, because I'm watching the chat. And there's thousands of people chatting at once. Oh, I love this song. Oh, my God, this is the best. Really, honestly, just boosting my ego, to be quite frank with you, And I was like, I'm not selling my records. Now, what I've been doing is actually buying hundreds of records over the past 3 months have been brought into my house. I mean, just crates and boxes and shipments. And I went the opposite route now, in that I'm trying to fill my collection with anything I might have missed. And so Monday through Friday on Reddit, although I think I'm going to cut my hours back a little bit, I do a live broadcast at 4:30 p.m. under the username of HipHopHistoryGuy. And then I film it and I edit it down and I post it on my YouTube, which is youtube.com/HipHopHistoryGuy. My next episode, which will go live Saturday, is actually episode 50 officially. And it's been really exciting. I'm finally using my turntables again. I'm using records. I'm getting practice in, so I feel like I've been improving quite a bit over the past 50 shows. We have a lot of regulars who really enjoy the show from all over the world. And it's bringing a lot of people a lot of joy, including myself. So what'll come of it, I have no idea. Whether it's going to continue just being streaming or something else, I really don't know. But you don't know unless you try, right? And so it might be nothing. It might just continue being a stream, or maybe it'll become something else. But I'm not really shooting for the stars on this one. I'm really just doing it for fun and to get my creative outlet out, and really the music that I've loved for so many years of my life out to the world. Which is exactly, by the way, what I did with underground hip hop, the way I started that. I had no intention of making it a business or making money off it. It was really just for the love of hip hop.
Man, you have an incredible story. The passion is real. Your dedication is real. Everybody watching this, stop what you're doing. Go follow Hip Hop History Guy. Type it in Google, YouTube, Reddit, Twitter, Instagram, everywhere. This is the guy. If you didn't know, now you know. He's not going to say it. I'll say it. This is the guy. This is the he created the whole, his message board was incredible. He's connected people. It's you can't even make sense of it all. So if you can do anything right now, support what he's got going on, man.
Just regarding that message board. So, the UGH forums we had 8 million posts at one point by the time I sold it. Careers that have started on the message board include Immortal Technique, one of the biggest hip hop stars in hip hop. His career literally started on our message boards. Ill Mind, producer, started on our producer board. There's several others I was told who I don't want to name because I don't have confirmation, but it really was a launch pad. And it is kind of crazy when you're saying everything you're saying. I really appreciate it. I'm very humbled that, we really did connect a lot of people in hip hop, and I never thought when I was younger that my life journey would be to bring hip hop to the masses. But it's funny. I'm 42, which is crazy to say out loud, but and I'm still doing it. So you just never know, right?
Your experience, your knowledge is so valuable, man. I mean, you have it, man. What you're doing is incredible right now. What you've done is incredible. I mean, me and Illmind used to talk on the phone, like making beats. Like I met him through there. So, I mean, it's incredible connections have been made there. So I just want to mention that real quick, man. Just do the research, guys. And I'm going to put the links right down below. Tell them one more time where they can follow you and where they can search for you.
So just go under YouTube, Reddit, Instagram, or Twitter. Type in Hip Hop History Guy. You'll see me with the sunglasses and the hat on. Actually, I don't think I have a hat in my profile. You'll see me with the sunglasses on. You'll know it's me. I'm also on Spotify, but only doing playlists on Spotify. Check out my profile there. Not the playlist. Make sure to see my profile. Every episode, I put up the Spotify playlist. And then we'll see where it goes. But yeah, the people who have been following the YouTube channel and my Instagram, I put up samples as well as a lot of audio samples on my stories, really seem to be enjoying what I'm doing. So I'm bringing some happiness to some people and enjoying while I'm doing it. So that's all I can ask for.
Man, thank you so much for coming through to the show. This is actually my favorite interview yet. I hate to say that. I probably shouldn't say that, but this is my favorite interview yet, man.
You say that to everybody, don't you?
No, I really don't. This is my favorite interview, man. Thank you for coming through. You already know what it is. It's your boy, Chris Hayes. This is On the Spot, and we're going to see y'all on the next episode. Let's get it.